beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video that's going to be this week's new makeup releases, where I'm going to chat about the new makeup that's been released, announced, and sneak peek, and I'm going to let you know what I think about these products, if I want to pick them up, if I'm not interested, and then you let me know down in the comments how you feel about these products as well. Before we get into the new makeup releases, I am very excited that we have a sponsor on today's video, so let's roll that clip. I am super excited because the beginning part of this video is sponsored by HUDA. This is a brand that I have not had on my channel before, but it is a brand that's been on my radar for quite some time. One of my closest friends keeps talking about HUDA, how much she loves it, how amazing it is, all the orders she's been making. So I had been checking out this brand, and then when they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try out some of their things, I was on it. Because I was so intrigued by this brand. Not only do they have amazing reviews, they have such a wide array of products. HUDA is a brand that's just reimagining athleisure, just making stuff that is comfortable, well-fitting, that could work for the gym, but also for all of us that are not necessarily just wearing these pieces to the gym. Maybe you're like me, working from home. I need comfortable pieces that I can be sitting by my desk all the time, but also going out with my dogs, heading to the grocery store. I was wearing my HUDA pieces yesterday at the grocery store after spending a full day at home working in them. So comfortable and still classy in a way that it doesn't look like you just came from the gym. So these are the classic SoCinched leggings, and HUDA sent me all of these pieces in a small, and everything fits perfectly. We also have this hoodie here that is in this beautiful like waffle structure that is so incredibly comfortable. I've been wearing this so much. These leggings fit like a dream. They really do be, yes, cinching you in, but like not in a constraining way, but you just feel like it's controlling your body in the most flattering way possible, but still not feeling constraining or just not comfortable in any way, shape. I can't do that. I need things to be comfortable, and I was very impressed with how these leggings just like in a very comfortable way. I also was sent some pieces that are a little bit more like going to the gym. This is this really cool sports bra, like athleisure top. And it also has some really cool like shiny leggings. And I will say, what I appreciate now that I've been like going through this entire website and looking at all these beautiful things is that there is such a wide array. You can find anything. If you want to get something cool for the gym, if you want to just have like comfy clothes to wear at home, if you want to have something that can transition you from the gym to the grocery store to being at home without anyone raising an eyebrow being like, what is she wearing? You can find everything here. You can even find like more jegging style things that look like jeans that are just the most comfortable fabric. I'm very impressed with the selection that they have. This piece was the one that I was the most surprised about when I opened it, and this is like a dress, and it is a long dress. But when I got this on, this is the most comfortable, smooth, wonderful fabric, and we are getting into fall. Even here in Texas, we are getting into fall, and this will be so perfect with socks for those like cozy times, like want to be at home, being in the couch, reading a book. I honestly, this could also be the perfect like sleeping gown if you're a little cold like I am. I like bundling up a bit when going to bed. Finally, I wanted to talk about the new Patitoff collection that HUDA has that is designed specifically to easily handle pet hairs and other kinds of fluff and fibers, you know, to get stuck on our stuff, and makes it impossible to transition from your home to being outside if you're like me and have 3 pets. Because I have a cat and 2 dogs, and trust me, they come with fur and lots of fluff. This fabric is soft, stretchy, and breathable, and the same as the leggings that just really just feel secure on the body, but it's made with a fabric that makes it very easy for you to just brush off any fluff or pet hairs, so that you can just, like I did, sit in the couch and just have a chill time with your pets, and then straight go out and just go out the door, and nobody will be like, did she sleep on the floor? because that's what it looks like sometimes. You know that with some fabrics. So honestly, this is the most genius thing, and I cannot wait to get more pieces in this because this is exactly what I need in my life. Right now, the collection includes the original Patitoff, the Patitoff Flow, and also the fleece collection, but they are looking to include different things in the future. The information I got is to expand the range to include more apparel such as leggings, joggers, dresses, and skirts. And I think that this is just a super smart move, and I think that a lot of people like me are looking for something like this. They also sent me the old version of the Patitoff fabric with the new version of the Patitoff fabric. So the red ones are the old ones and the black ones are the new ones, and the new ones feel more heavy duty in the best way. Like, they feel more substantial, they feel like they're gonna last a really long time, and like you saw in the footage, I had no problem whatsoever to be just wiping off the hair. I've been wearing this quite a lot, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And that's also one of the things that I thought was really interesting with this brand, is that they take in a lot of reviews and a lot of suggestions from the community that are using these things to improve the quality, to improve the fabrics, to improve patterns, to just make them better and better, such as they did with the old fabric versus the new one, just making it better, making improvements. And you know that from before, if it's one thing I really like, it is when brands take something that is good and strive to make it even better. Halara did give me a discount code. It is Angel15, and you can get 15% off at the website. I will leave all the info down in the description box in case you're interested in checking this out. I am so far very, very impressed with the brand and with the things that I have tried here, and the things that my friends said about the brand, I definitely agree with them. These are high quality pieces, they are very versatile, incredibly comfortable, and I am so excited to be trying out more things in the future. So check out the description box for more info, and thank you again, Halara, for sponsoring the beginning part of this video. And before we get into it, remember to be kind. I swear in my video that I was doing about the Natasha Denona Xenon palette, some people were upset like Natasha Denona was their actual mom, and I was insulting their mom, and she was now losing her livelihood and could no longer pay rent. Brands are not your friends. Brands are not your friends. I cannot be more clear about this. You don't need to be out here defending them like it's the 2023 crusade nobody asked for, okay? It is okay if you don't like my makeup style, but you literally do not need to tell me in capital letters that I do not know what I'm talking about when I am clearly saying in a video that this palette is a cool tone palette and I have a warm skin tone. Fascinating. Fascinating to see the lengths people will go to insult someone over an eyeshadow palette that just will not go to war for you. Let me just scooch it to the side while we talk about this, because with that being said, the Natasha Denona Xenon palette is now available at other retailers as well. I will link it down below in case you were interested in this one. But like I say in my video that some people seem to have missed, it is a palette that has very little variation unless you are very cool toned or unless you have a very fair skin tone. I have a warm undertone, I am a light to medium, so on me, all of the shadows, including the ones that Natasha herself was describing as blue and pink, they all look very gray. So if you also have a warm skin tone and you were interested in the palette, I would highly suggest you to check out that video and see how they swatch out on a warm skin tone. If you are looking to see how they swatch out on what I mentioned as a cool fair skin tone, I saw my friend Amy from Amy Loves Makeup. She was doing a review on it, and she will be able to show you how they look on someone that does not have, well, my skin tone. And also I know that my friend Heather Austin did a video on it if you want to see them swatched on an olive skin tone, and I know my friend Karen Harris did a video on it and she swatched them on her tan, more warmer skin tone, just if you want to see how it looks. Because I will say, these colors that are more subtle in undertones, they tend to look very, very different on different skin tones, because of course whatever you have under, it is gonna make or break some undertones. And even if I do use a cool toned primer, the skin that's next to the primer is still gonna warp the colors a little bit and make them be perceived in a special kind of undertone. I'm just letting you know about this because I would hate for you to spend $69 on something where you might as well just have gotten the mini. But like I said in the video, if you have a cool skin tone and you love grays, all kinds of different grays, I think you will love the palette. It has a very, very beautiful formula. I don't think it's gonna be my favorite though, and I already knew that going in because I don't love grays, but the formulations, those are really nice. What I have on my face today is the Lunar Beauty Siren Sunset. I'm also wearing the Sailor Lip on my lips. I got this in PR yesterday night, and I had a video up yesterday on this one. I'm actually sitting down to edit that after I filmed this new makeup releases, in case you want to see some swatches and in case you want to hear my thoughts on this palette and see me, well, do this look right here. I usually really love the Lunar Beauty formula, and there has been some changes to the formulations, and if you're interested in hearing that, I would suggest checking out yesterday's video. Like I said, it is what I have on my face and on my lips and on my eyes right now. Also, the Sephora holiday savings event is in full effect right now. No, it's not. Only if you're Rouge. It is available for Rouge right now. I will leave a link down below in case you want to be shopping through my link. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine too. As you're seeing this, I probably have already made my purchase, and I will try and include it in my monthly haul. That's probably going to be how I do mine, because I feel like it's at the end of the month. I feel like it makes sense for me to include it in my monthly haul. I will leave the information about it down below, and I will also let you know in my community tab when it opens up for the VIB and the insiders as well. But remember that you can get 30% off the Sephora collection during this entire time. All of the info is both in the picture here and also in the description box down below, together with all the things I'm going to be talking about today. Everything is going to be down there. If you're like, what was the discount code? Where can I find this? When is the release date? We will put all the info in the description box, so don't forget to check that out in case you were wondering about anything. Speaking of the makeup community being in their cool toned era, Huda Beauty has finally announced her holiday collection, and it is like it's a full collection. It is an eyeshadow palette that's called Pretty Grunge. I think there is some lippies. It is a blush gloss that adjusts to your skin pH. I don't know what a blush gloss means, but I want it. I think that's the one I want to get. Do you want me to review this palette? Again, it's going to be a review from someone that's going to review the quality. I'm going to let you know if I think there is a good selection of colors and tell you how it looks on a warmer skin tone. Let me know if you are interested or not. I would like to try one of the bigger Huda palettes, but she's very much into her neutral era these past 3 years, so it hasn't really been for me. There's also some liquid lipsticks. There is a black shade in the liquid matte, and is there a color changing gloss? Is that what it is? I think it might be a Silk Bomb that is like a color changing one. But overall, I think this is a fun, and it is a little dark, a little cool toned. I love that she included a black lip shade, even though it's limited edition. That like blush balm seems very intriguing. I want to try it, because I will say a lot of the things from Huda Beauty that I tried, I mean, I'm wearing the powder and the concealer today, I really tend to like them. Like, I really tend to like a lot of the things that I've tried from Huda Beauty as of late. So I'm kind of intrigued to be trying this one out. Not the palette, but the blush thing. Or do you want me to try the palette? Listen, I'll take one for the team, but only if you actually want to see it. This one is launching on the 1st, I think. Yeah, the 1st of November, which is next Wednesday, right? It is launching globally, so I think you'll be able to get it pretty much everywhere. I will link something down below, which also means that this is going to be available during the Sephora sale. So if you want to get it at Sephora with a discount. Okay. Another thing that is launching next week is the new collection from Glamlight. I'm guessing they had a little bit of hiccup with shipping because they didn't release it the week after like they said they would. Instead, they are releasing it on Halloween, which is going to be the last of October, which is next Tuesday. So they are releasing then the Freddy Krueger. Oh, I keep saying Terror on Elm Street, and people are so upset. Someone was so upset that they called me pathetic. That's where we are right now in internet culture. If you have not watched a specific horror movie and you call it the wrong name, you're a pathetic human being. It's Nightmare on Elm Street. I know, but I swear some people need to touch grass. This one is launching soon, and I was able to just screen grab a picture from the promotional video that Glamlight themselves put up that shows that they are releasing 2 smaller palettes. So I don't know about you, but if these are gonna be as good as the small Scooby-Doo palettes from last year are, I'm ready. I am so ready. I cannot wait to get my grubby paws on this. And like I said, they're launching on Halloween. If you want to get something else from this collection, I know they have some things from the other collections live. Maybe you were waiting to make one big order. Maybe you were waiting to see what all of them were before you decided. Maybe you don't want to get anything. But if you do, remember that you can use my code and get 15% off at Glamlight. I do have videos on the Ghostface collection, on the Chucky one that came out this Valentine's, but I still think it's a little bit of a Halloween collection, right? It's like, maybe not. Maybe I'm stretching it. But also the Friday the 13th one, or any of the other things from Glamite that they've released this year as well, of course. And my favorite, I think, that they've released so far this year is the Rick and Morty palette. I know, I feel like it's a little bit of an unsung hero, but I think that that palette is my favorite of the year from Glamite. It's a really nice one. Now I'm like, ooh, that one together with the Friday the 13th would make such a cool combo. The bright orange with those dark reds. That moody green with the lime green. Again, I'm daydreaming. I'm daydreaming about color combos. I don't know if you can hear the thunder in the background, but I sure can. Also, Melt announced that they released a second part of the collaboration that they did with the... what is it called? This is not my favorite Disney movie, and I know people are gonna come for me in the comments, but this is the Nightmare Before Christmas. I like the movie, it's just not my favorite movie from Disney, not even by a long shot, but they're releasing, they had the Halloween Town and now they're releasing the Christmas Town. I like this color story way more, and I saw the owners swatch out this color story and it looked beautiful. There is a matte, there are two matte reds I think, and there's a matte white, and there's some greens in here, and honestly, I think this color story is really stunning. If this one launches on Sephora during the sale, things might happen. Things might happen. I might buy it. There's also a highlighter blush duo in here. Then there are some dark vampy lipsticks. I do not want that. And also there's some accessories that people really love. You can get this entire collection as a full collection, not the singles, the full collection at Melt Cosmetics right now, but I'm hoping they're gonna release them as singles because I'm definitely not buying anything in a full collection. I'm not that babe anymore. It's not my journey. I might be persuaded because I do like this color story way more than the other one. I think it is actually really fun and pretty. Do I have these colors? Yes, definitely. But I still love them. Oh, I think we talked about this last week. I'm not 100% sure, but that Colourpop was bringing back their collab with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And this is available now over at Colourpop. And I do have a code with Colourpop as well, in case you were interested. I did have this collection, and I actually have given most of the things away in this. This one was released 2 years ago, and it was released... I literally got this days before I moved to the US. So I brought it to the US, and I didn't film anything with it because if you remember when I moved here, I didn't film anything for most of like half, I think, of January, and like in the middle of January nobody cares about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but I think all the pieces looked really pretty. I just never got around to film anything with it because it released when I was in the biggest chaos of my life, which it happens, but it is coming back, and the information that I had is that this is coming to Target as well. I don't know if that is true. That's the information that I had last week, but keep an eye out. This one might get to Target. I'm not 100% sure, but it is coming back and it is available at the Colourpop website at least, and I'm excited that they brought it back. I think that this is one of those collections that I feel like it's an easy sell. It's a well-loved figure, at least here in the US. I've never seen this show whatsoever. The color story is pretty neutral, but also very Christmas. I get it. I get it. Am I super interested? Not really. Not really. Also, I haven't received any PR from Colourpop. This is 3 weeks in a row. I think I've been kicked out, to be honest. I've said too many negative things. I'm sorry, Colourpop. I still love you. But yeah, I will purchase myself. When they release something that I really want, I will purchase myself. I was actually looking for a replacement for something at my Colourpop counter over at Target when we were at Target the other day. Nothing. It was so picked over. They had nothing. Colourpop must really be doing good at Target because it was all sold out except like 2 things. Wet n Wild has released, I think, I was gonna say announced, but I'm pretty sure they released it as well, their holiday collection that is called the Foxtrot collection. I love a good foxtrot. Actually, my dad taught me how to foxtrot. I'm not a good dancer, but I like dancing. I'm just not good at it. And my partner doesn't like dancing at all, which is a shame, but I think that this is cute in concept. When I saw this, I was like, why did I put the same palette 3 times in this picture? But it is different palettes. There is no reason why this is 3 palettes. I feel like this is just, they had They had 15 shades and they just put those 15 shades somewhat differently in 3 different palettes. It doesn't make sense whatsoever to me. Why didn't they just make 3 different palettes? I mean, if you are gonna go through the effort of making 3 different SKUs, I mean, making 3 different palettes, you're paying for each SKU, why not just make them different? It's just a little mind-boggling. I will say Wet n Wild is one of those brands that I've never really fallen in love with anything from the brand, and all the things I've ever liked from the brand has been easily replaceable. And also, I'm not a packaging snob, but I am a packaging connoisseur to the point where I'm like, if something is bad packaging, it doesn't matter how good the product is, I'm eventually gonna get rid of it, because I want something to be a good product and good packaging. And if you're only a good product and not good packaging, I am gonna go out of my way to replace you with something else, because I wanna have both. And I know with all the options there are available that you can get both. So that's why I'm just never falling in love with the brand, because yes, they're affordable, but I think I can just go with e.l.f. then, because I feel like e.l.f. has better packaging. Speaking of that, let's talk about e.l.f. because they released some duochrome liquid eyeshadows. One of them seems to be a little bit darker and 2 seems to be toppers. $8 each. I think this is perfect for holiday, sparkly New Year's season coming up. I think there's a lot of people that would like to add something like this to their collection for $8. I don't need it. I have a million things like this. I have not seen any reviews or swatches or thoughts about these, but again, I don't think it's a bad idea if this is a decent quality product to have this in your lineup, especially coming into this season, because I'm sure that if this is a good product, if this gets good reviews, people will purchase it and use it maybe only a couple of times through this season, but at least you only paid $8 for it. I'm not interested. This is not the kind of product that I use, but it makes sense. Lime Crime has shown their, I think this is their holiday season. This is the Dark Rain collection, and there is a 2 liquid luster eyeshadows. Again, liquid shadows, not my thing necessarily. There is a Wet Cherry Crushed Gems duo. Is that lip glosses? Or Wet Cherry. Wet Cherry are lip glosses, yes. So liquid eyeshadows and lip glosses. There is a quad with eyeshadows, and then there is a Velveteen's trio, which is 1 existing shade and 2 new shades. I wanna... Do I? Let me put it like this. I'm kind of excited that Lime Crime is not a brand that excites me, because that makes it not another brand that I want to review, and it eases my review burden. But at the same time, I feel a little guilty for not being intrigued by them whatsoever. Does this make sense? I don't know. I look at this and I'm like, I can skip that easily. Let's talk about some Swedish brands. There is, from Glossgods has announced that they have restocked some of their best-selling palettes that have been sold out for a bit. So if you were intrigued by any of these are restocked right now. I will leave an affiliated link down below in case you're interested. I think you can try and use my code Angelica as well. It does work on some things on the website and you might get some money off. They have an incredible duochrome special formula. They're just absolutely out of this world. It's so beautiful. So if you're interested in palettes like that, if you're living in the EU and you want to save on shipping and taxes and all of that, definitely would recommend to try out Glossgods. Like I said, I will leave it down below. I do have some videos on Glossgods as well when I'm swatching the palettes and using them, so check that out as well. And also there is a new creator collection. This is from LH Cosmetics. This is also a Swedish brand, and this one is owned by a Swedish celebrity makeup artist Linda Hallberg, and she has done this collection that is very much more up my alley with all of these cool tone palettes that's going on. I saw this one and I'm like, I zoomed in, I was like, ooh, is that a yellow? Is that a yellow? Loving that. And this is a collection that says, questions, Insta polls, and more questions have led to this amazing palette. Creator palette is the final result of our community's wishes, and it's named after some of our co-creators. I'm so excited about this. I don't know if the lippy and the crayon was also part of this, or if it's just something that they think matches with it, because I'm pretty sure that both Sania and Poppy are existing shades. This palette is stunning though, and I really like the LH Cosmetics formula, and this palette, I think it looks beautiful. And I'm excited that they did something like that. Just doing some polls and questions and getting something together that's like, you picked this? I actually kind of really like it. And it also shows that when they got to choose, most of them did not pick cool tones. I feel vindicated. Another brand that is getting ready to launch some new things is Artitude Cosmetics. And Artitude Cosmetics did send me one of the new things that they're releasing, which is one thing that they have not announced yet. But so far they have announced, as I'm filming this, some half lashes, which I love. I might actually pick those up myself, and some multi-chrome pigments, and there are more things coming, and I do have that here at hand. Of course, I cannot show you because they haven't shown it yet, but just know that you'll know when you see it. I do have it. They also gave me a discount code so you can get some money off if you're interested in the brand. I know so many people were so intrigued by that old palette that they had, and they did send that one to me too, so I do have that one in case you're interested. But I'm very, very intrigued by this. I'm intrigued to be diving in, and I'm excited for the brand to have another launch. So I think that Artitude Cosmetics is UK based. Yes, Artitude Cosmetics is UK based, in case that is important to you. This is something that's a little bit gone over my head. I haven't been overly interested in this, and it might be because it's like, oh, another celebrity fragrance. This is Beyonce's second fragrance, I think. I think the first one sold out, but I can blind buy fragrances if I can blind buy them in a smaller packaging. I do not blind buy full-size fragrances, especially not from brands that I don't know and love. I can blind buy a full-size fragrance from like Kayali. Honestly, I could, because I know the brand so much now, or even Jo Malone, because I know the kind of scents that Jo Malone does, but I wouldn't blind buy this. This is $160, and this is the Clementine Golden Honey Rose Absolute. I don't love rose perfumes overall. Jasmine Sambac, Myrrh, and Golden Amber. It's just not notes that appeal to me. This is not notes that I usually go for. Does that mean that I won't like this fragrance? I might, but I wouldn't blind buy it. And I think this is available. It probably sold out again. I am surprised that someone as big as Beyonce does not have a store presence. Like, maybe she does. If she was in store, I would love to go and smell her scents. I would just not blind buy something that expensive myself. Speaking of fragrances, this one is one though that I probably will blind buy. They usually come in a smaller one as well. Hopefully, will this be available during the Sephora sale? It says coming soon. This is the new one from Replica by Maison Margiela. This one is from the garden. If you don't know the kind of scent profiles that I like green, dirt, greenhouse, like plants, wet garden. Like, I love the greenery. I love tomato leaves, which is one of the notes in this perfume. So when I saw this one, I also love the smell of rain and water and ozone, and I love fruity perfumes that are not too sweet and vanilla-y. Those are usually my absolute favorite perfumes, and really spicy perfumes that are not too amber or oud. I hope this makes sense. Those are the kind of fragrances that I usually go for. This one is tomato leaf, green mandarin, geranium, and patchouli. So here's the thing. Green mandarin, tomato leaf, geranium, I'm very intrigued by that. But then it says patchouli, and I'm like, what do you mean patchouli? Like, how present is that in here? Because sometimes patchouli can go from sophisticated elegance to old women's coat forgotten in the wardrobe since 1850. Like, there is a wide range of how I feel about patchouli, and I really hope that patchouli is not going to ruin the freshness, the greenness of tomato leaves, because tomato leaves smell incredible. Absolutely incredible. It does not smell like tomatoes. Like, this is not a salsa perfume. I saw some people commenting like that. I'm like, you need to go outdoors. You need to be in nature, or like at least in the greenhouse, and actually smell the leaves. It's not tomato. This is not like a grocery store tomato scent. But I'm very excited. If that releases on Sephora during the sale, I will 1,000,000% pick it up. This is very much up my alley, and I love a lot of the replica scents, and this one sounds like it's made for me. Except the patchouli. You could have left that in the factory. Oh, there is another makeup release here. Oh, I have this somewhere, but I don't know where I have it, and I'm so sorry. I have this here somewhere. This is from Didi's Signature, and she's releasing a new quad that's called Plum Perfection. This is a limited edition sister palette to Pumpkin Spice, which is a palette that I don't have. I just recently started using and started receiving some things from Didi's Signature. You can also use my code here if you are interested. This one is releasing on the 27th. Which is the day that you're watching this. So this is releasing today, and I think this is a beautiful quad, and I like how this quad is made because there is a lighter, not a pastel, but there's like a mid-tone warm green, there's a dark plum, and there's two shimmers, one lighter and one darker. I think there is a lot of nice variation in here, and I really like how she set this one up. I could make looks with this one only, but also this one together with the Natasha Nona Mini Xenon palette would just be a match made in heaven. This one. I think that those would work so well together. So yeah, I actually think that this one looks really cute. I will leave a link to it down below. If you want to see me use that one, please let me know. Maybe we can include it in something. Maybe I can use it together with the Xenon. I wish I had more time to create reels. I envy the people that just put up reels and reels and reels. I'm like, where do you get the time from? I don't understand. About Face has also dropped some new smoke sticks, and these are a dual-ended 2-in-1 creamy shadow stick and powder eyeshadow with one of those poofs that feels very 2002, no? I remember those from 2002, right? I had them, you had them. I remember not liking them then, and I wonder if they are better now. Who knows? I like it as a dual-ended. I like that blue duo. I think it looks really cute. Will I be trying this one out? That I don't know, but I think that this one fits into this new easy makeup that's going on right now. We had this full Instagram beat thing going on from 2016 maybe to 2021, and now we're in this more, I don't want to call it clean girl, but you know what I mean when I say clean girl. And hopefully in 5 years, honestly 2-3 years, we'll come back to like more visible, this kind of makeup. Who knows? Everything goes in waves. So I think that this fits in very well with the type of makeup that's popular right now. But clearly that's not the type of makeup that I go for, so I think that this release will be lost on me. Let's end with talking about this sneak peek from Wayne Goss. It says hello again, and apparently something new is... I did not realize that he hasn't released anything for that long, but yeah, I guess that's true. It's been a really long time since he released something, and some people I was seeing in the comments here also said that like his stuff has been out of stock. I will say I have not been keeping up with the brand. I only own, I think, 2 things from the brand that I got in my Beautylish lucky bag. I think I got a lipstick and a lip liner. I thought both of them, at least according to me, were pretty good quality, and I really did enjoy them, even though I will say I have no idea where both of them are, so maybe I wasn't enjoying them that much. Sorry. I have not been trying his brushes. Since I have started my own brand, my brand is SoCinched Beauty, so far we have makeup brushes, and of course I have been using my own brushes, and I've been, of course, in development phases for a really long time, and I'm always trying new brushes with SoCinched Beauty in mind. And also I think that his brushes are natural hair bristles, which is something that I usually really like. I do tend, at least I've said that I prefer natural bristle brushes, and that is also why I made such an effort to make my synthetic bristle brushes feel like natural bristle brushes. But all that to say that even though I have my own brand with my own brushes, I am still very intrigued and trying out the Wayne Goss brushes because I've heard so many good things about it. So I would like to try it out. I wasn't even aware that it was gone. Maybe I should sign up. I am signed up for the newsletter for Beautylish, but maybe I should pay attention to the newsletter because, you know what? I would like to try his brushes. Maybe not his face brushes, because I haven't heard as many good things about the face brushes as I have about the eye brushes, but I would love to hear your thoughts about this, because his brushes are also very expensive. Like, they're very expensive, so I would like to see, like, what are you getting for the price? Like, is it worth it or not? Would love to hear your thoughts. Actually, before we go out, I should probably go in and see if anything else has been announced since. Nope, I don't see anything, so let me scooch you back and we can end this. So I hope you're having an absolutely amazing Friday. I would love to hear your thoughts about any of these releases down below in the comments. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. It really does help out. And if you stayed to the very end, you are the real MVP. Watching an influencer's video all the way to the end is actually one of the best ways to support a creator without spending any money. And thank you again, Halara, for sponsoring the beginning part of this video. I am so excited about my Halara things. I've been wearing them absolutely like crazy. So don't forget to check that out in the description box as well. And yeah, I will see you again on Monday for a new video. Bye!